mistletoe flies, not hurled in anger, not thrown with intent. It glides. A thin sliver of pale wood cuts through the golden air of Asgard, through laughter that has gone on too long, through a game that should never have existed. Baldr stands at the center, radiant, untouched, almost unreal. Light clings to him. Not metaphorical light, actual radiance. The kind that makes shadows retreat. The kind that convinces gods they are invincible just for standing nearby. Weapons rain down. A spear screams toward his chest, splinters midair. A sword strikes his skull, snaps like dry bone. Stones fall. Axes bounce. Arrows dissolve. The gods roar with laughter. This is sport now. This is proof that fate has been beaten. Then something small breaks the rhythm. No gleam of iron. No hiss of steel. Just wood. The mistletoe strikes Baldr's chest. For a breath, nothing happens. Then confusion crosses his face. Not pain. Not fear. Surprise. His knees buckle. His body folds inward like light collapsing into a dying star. When he hits the ground, the sound is wrong, too final. Silence spreads across Asgard. Not dramatic. Silence. Vacuum silence. Frigg's scream tears through the realm. Odin doesn't move. Thor's hand tightens around his hammer, useless for the first time in his life. Baldr lies still. The god who was promised to survive the end of the world is dead before it even begins. This wasn't supposed to happen. Baldr was loved by all, protected by oaths sworn by the universe itself, and yet here he is, cold, broken, gone. This is the moment the gods realize something unbearable. If Baldr can die, then nothing is safe.
Unveil the legends.
Before the fall, there was a lie. The lie was peace. Asgard glittered like a victory already won. The gods drank, feasted, told stories about old wars, as if danger were a finished chapter, neatly closed. But Odin never stopped listening for footsteps behind him. Odin wasn't just a king. He was a man hunted by the future. He sacrificed an eye to drink from Mimir's well, not for wisdom, but for forewarning. He hung himself from Yggdrasil, pierced by his own spear, starving and bleeding, just to steal secrets from death. Every choice he made was defensive. Thor masked fear with thunder. Tyr clung to honor like a crutch. Loki watched them all with quiet amusement. And Baldr was the problem. He was gentle in a world built on violence. He spoke softly in halls raised by blood. Everyone loved him, not because he demanded it, but because standing near him felt like standing near something clean. Then, the dreams began. Baldr dreamed of darkness swallowing the sky, of cold halls, of his own corpse lowered into shadow. He woke shaking, drenched in fear he couldn't explain. Dreams matter in Norse myth. They are never just dreams. Frigg heard them, and fear hollowed her out. She did what only a mother would do. She broke the rules. Frigg traveled the 9 realms, demanding oaths from everything that existed. Fire promised, water promised, metal promised, disease promised, animals promised, "You will never harm my son." And reality itself agreed. She returned believing she had outsmarted destiny. But fate doesn't need large doors, only cracks. Invincibility changes people. It makes caution feel foolish. It turns reverence into boredom. The gods didn't worship Baldr's safety. They tested it. They gathered him into the open courtyard. Weapons were raised. Jokes were made. One by one, they threw everything they had at him. Nothing worked. Laughter echoed off gold walls. Mead spilled. Even Odin allowed himself a smile. All except Loki. Loki doesn't miss patterns. He noticed Frigg never smiled during the game. Not once. He noticed how carefully she watched each throw. How relief, not joy, followed every failed strike. So he asked questions. Soft ones. Disguised as an old woman, Loki approached Frigg. No threats, no tricks, just curiosity. "Surely," he said gently, "there must be something you didn't ask." Frigg answered, and with that answer the universe tipped. Mistletoe, too young, too small, too harmless to matter. Loki carved the dart himself. No magic words, no ritual, just intention. Then he found Höðr, blind, forgotten, standing alone while the others laughed. "You deserve to play too," Loki said. "I'll guide your hand." Höðr trusted him. The throw was light, the death was absolute. Baldr fell, and with him fell the illusion that fate could be negotiated. Loki was blamed. That was easy. It always is. The trickster, the liar, the chaos bringer. History loves a simple villain, but myths don't survive because they're simple. They survive because they're uncomfortable. Baldr was not just another god. He was the future. Every prophecy agrees on one detail. When Ragnarok burns the world clean, Baldr returns. Not Odin, not Thor, Baldr. He rules the new age, a god of light presiding over a world that no longer needs war. And that should make you pause, because Odin knew this. Odin knew every ending worth knowing. He wasn't afraid of Ragnarok because he would die. He was afraid because the world would go on without him. So why was Baldr allowed to stand in the open? Why was a game involving weapons tolerated at all? Why did the All-Father, who foresaw the end of worlds, fail to stop a single dart? Because power rarely steps aside willingly. Baldr represented a future where Odin's cruelty, paranoia, and endless sacrifice were no longer necessary. A future where wisdom didn't come from blood. And in tyrannies, divine or human, that future is dangerous. This reframes everything. Loki didn't invent the conditions, he exploited them. The gods created the stage. Odin allowed the script to unfold. Loki merely spoke the final line. And perhaps the most terrifying thought of all, Baldr didn't just die for Ragnarok. He died to start it. They tried to undo the mistake. Desperation makes cowards of gods. Hermor rode Sleipnir, Odin's 8-legged horse, down into Hel's realm. The air grew colder with every step. Light failed. Sound thinned. This was not a place meant for bargaining, Hel listened. Cold, still, unmoved. "I will return Baldr," she said, "if all things weep for him. All things, not most, not the important ones, everything." So the gods begged. And the world answered. Rocks cracked with grief. Trees bent, dripping sap like tears. Fire hissed and dimmed. Even giants, ancient enemies of the gods, mourned. For a moment, it looked like love had conquered death. Then they found her. Cake, a giantess in a cave, dry-eyed, unmoved. "I will not weep," she said. "Why should I?" And that was enough. One refusal outweighed a universe of grief. Some say Cake was Loki in disguise. Others say she was something worse. Truth, because not everything mourns what it loses. Baldr remained in Hel, and something inside the gods broke permanently. Frigg's grief never healed. Odin stopped pretending wisdom could save him. Thor's rage became heavier, slower, more desperate. They didn't speak of hope anymore, only of delay. Baldr's death wasn't just tragedy. It was a warning. The gods believed they could edit fate, remove the dangerous lines, cross out the ending they didn't like. But fate doesn't work that way. It adapts. They tried to make Baldr immortal and made him fragile instead. They tried to prevent Ragnarok and triggered its countdown. They tried to protect the future and murdered it with their own fear. Baldr will return one day after the fires, after the oceans swallow the land, after the gods bleed and the sky cracks open. He rules the world that comes after them, which means this story isn't about death, it's about control. about what happens when those in power refuse to let go. So here's the question worth asking. Was Loki really the monster, or was he the only one brave enough to let the old world die? Because if you think Baldr's death was cruel, wait until you see what Odin was willing to sacrifice when Ragnarok finally arrived. That is a story even darker than this one.